Let's welcome a special guest on the show now, Mr. Amit Kalyani, the Vice Chairman and Joint Managing Director at Bharat Forge Limited, joins us from the sidelines of India Global Forum. Amit, hi, good to be speaking with you. It's been a while, but let's start by discussing the macro picture. A lot has been said, and people are calling it is India's century, and that India could become the manufacturing cradle of the world. Just wanted to get a sense from you from the supply side of things, whether it's logistics, water, electricity. Is India really geared up to become the manufacturing hotspot of the world?
I think there's nothing that can stop India from being the manufacturing superpower of the next 50 to 100 years. I've spent about 10 days in Europe now on business, and quite frankly, the infrastructure here is at par with what we have in India, and in some cases even worse. And let me explain why. If you look at the expensive infrastructure, which is the digital infrastructure, which is the whole backbone of the future of our economy, we are years ahead of most of Europe. And obviously, the physical infrastructure, which is the roads, the ports, the airports, we know how to get that done. And that those are very modular investments because they are all location specific, and they are they make money on their own, and they're not layered investments. So I think doing those and making them pay and making them happen with a government like ours, I think is definitely doable and is something that will start getting accelerated now.
Okay, so there are no supply side challenges, at least from the government side of you. So the onus is then on the private sector like yourself to spur growth. So let's talk about Bharat Forge then. Do you think the defense business of yours is finally at that inflection point that could be the next growth driver for you now?
So look, we look at the manufacturing business, which is both defense, industrial, automotive, aerospace, and then later on EV, will all be growth drivers for Bharat Forge. Defense definitely has picked up a lot of momentum, is past the let's say the learning curve, and is now at the point where it will go from incubation to maturity, and then maturity to acceleration.
Maturity to acceleration, that's the view on the defense business. But what about the overseas business? Because this was supposed to be the year of turnaround and margin improvement. Do you see that happening in FY25?
Yeah, absolutely. We are already on that trajectory. We are now heading towards positive territory, and I think this year we will have a far better outcome than we did last year, and a positive outcome.
Okay, far better and positive outlook for the overseas business. But what about exports? Because they have been fairly lumpy, whether it's in North America, truck orders, etc. as well. Are things looking better on the ground now, whether it's US or Europe?
You have to remove this only connection between Bharat Forge and CV and Class 8. We have a very wide, broad, and geographically diverse business, and we keep adding diversity and de-risking to it. So it will continue to grow. It will continue its trajectory. When some of our businesses where we have a high market share start, accelerating, they will add to our business. But I don't think they are going to detract from the business, even when they are not at full pace.
Okay, so at least it's not going to be a bit of a drag. But let me talk about the domestic CV cycle as well. And if I have it right, your earlier commentary was that it's going to be a flat year as far as domestic CV is concerned. Now, with a better monsoon outlook and a lot of discussion around rural push, do you want to change that view on domestic CV cycle?
Let's wait a little bit for the monsoon, because as you know, monsoon is a big mood, you know, it determines the mood of the nation, at least for a 2 to 3 to 6 month period. And a lot of consumption is driven by that. So I think we need to wait to see how the monsoon performs. But I think should be on a positive track.
Okay, positive track. That is what we'll take at least. But coming back to the defense business of yours, how's the pipeline looking? Because I think you earlier mentioned that almost 80% of your order book is exports. What else is in the pipeline now?
So more than 80% of our order book is right now domestic exports. We have certain large programs where the orders are at the finalization stage. And then you will see an addition to our order book, and that will change the mix.
Okay, we'll wait back for those announcements and negotiations to fructify on defense. But how's Bharat Forge gearing itself for the EV transition then?
Oh, we've made a lot of investments and developed a lot of capabilities for the EV transition. I think we're fairly well placed. And that's a business, I would say, which is still at the incubation phase. It'll move from incubation to, let's say, revenue this year and next year really, and then by 27 it will be in a phase of accelerated growth.
Thank you, Mr. Kalyani, for making time and speaking with us. So that was about the EV business, which is expected to accelerate from 12 to 18 months out. But defense is something which is past the incubation stage, is heading towards maturity and acceleration then. And the overseas business is expected to turn around. So important commentary coming in from Bharat Forge there.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.